Welcome back to Rapid Fire Franchising. I am Cassidy, and we have Emily George with us today. And again, you know the drill. It's a series of questions that I ask you very, very quickly, and you answer as honestly as possible. Got it?
Heard.
Okay, we're going to start with the basics. And why don't you tell us, what is your name? I just said
Emily George.
it. Okay. Who do you work for?
RevLocal.
What does RevLocal do?
RevLocal is a digital marketing services provider to small businesses and franchise systems and multi-location brands.
What do you do specifically for RevLocal?
Yeah, so I'm our senior manager of brand partnerships, which means I get to build really meaningful relationships with our client partners and other supplier partners in the franchise and multi-location space.
All right. What is the first thing you do in the morning before you start work?
Workout.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that. I
Every
should do that.
every morning. And really, like, my morning routine, I wake up, brush my teeth, put on my workout clothes, then I feed the cats, scoop the cat boxes, do my workout, and then I go about the rest of my day.
Okay, I need to form a better habit, a better routine in the morning, it sounds like. Okay, so I found out something interesting about you the other day because I can't tell on Zoom, but how many people actually clock that you have purple hair?
Oh, not a lot of people clock that I have purple hair, but I do have purple hair, like through the top and down the back of my hair is purple.
Is this the first time that you've ever had like color in your hair?
It is the first time I've ever had a not natural color in my hair. When I was working in restaurants, it was usually required to have natural hair color.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. There was one time at a restaurant that I was working with that I got special permission to dye part of my hair magenta pink because I was doing a bartending competition for breast cancer awareness.
Oh, cool.
So I got like a 1 month dispensation to color my hair pink, and that's it.
How do you feel about employers telling you how you have to wear your hair in your clothes?
I think I would feel differently about it now. Uh, I think kind of to each their own. It doesn't really bother me. Then I think you just have to decide if you want to work there and play by those rules.
Tell me about your cats.
I have 3 cats. Phil and Reese are 16, and we acquired them when we were living in Iowa. Eliza is 11, and she's 12 now. We acquired her here in Ohio, and she was literally brought to a bar that I was working at by one of my regulars who knew that myself and the other bartender were both really big cat people. And he was like, so we had this litter of cats. I've gotten rid of all but this one, and I'm not taking her home tonight. So either the other bartender or I were going to take home this cat, and I got her. So we have those 3.
Now you're bringing up something interesting. You formerly were a bartender. For how many years did you bartend?
I officially probably tended bar for about 10 years. I was in hospitality for a total of kind of 15 between management and serving and bartending.
If you out there are watching this and you haven't caught up with some of Emily's Whiskey Wednesday videos, go on LinkedIn and look for her tips and tricks and all the cocktails that she has made over the last year for Whiskey Wednesday. It's been a lot of fun. How many jobs, besides bartending, how many jobs have you had over the years?
I think the count is around 27 different jobs that I've had.
Name your top 3 strangest jobs.
Oh, strangest jobs? I was director of programming and tripping for a residential Girl Scout camp in Wisconsin, and usually just that title makes people giggle. So yeah, director of programming and tripping was weird. Weird jobs. I don't know that I've had a lot of weird jobs. I was an intern and did education policy legislation for a congressman.
Cool.
And I worked for Victoria's Secret, which kind of brought its level of weirdness.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, so you've had 27 jobs in the past. What is your dream for the future?
Oh, 27 more jobs? No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, I'm a variety is the spice is of life kind of person. So for me, just being able to find interesting things that bring meaning, and I have always really loved everything I've gotten to do. I've been super fortunate in that respect. And if I can help create that for some other people, I'm happy.
Very cool. Now, if you were to retire tomorrow, what would you do with the rest of your life?
If I were to retire tomorrow, I would love to spend my time doing kind of more philanthropic
Hmm.
endeavors. I would love to get into more organizations that I could support, LGBTQ community organizations, community revitalization efforts. That's what I would do with my time.
Word association. I'm going to say a word or a phrase and tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Home renovation.
Yuck.
Music.
Classical,
All right. Small business.
successful,
Awkward moments.
all the time.
Me too. Taxes.
Done.
Oh, yes, me too, but just in the nick of time. Fake plans.
Fake plants?
Yes, fake plans.
Oh, not for me.
Climate change.
Very real.
Confrontation.
Not for me also.
All right. High heels.
Love them.
Holiday sweaters.
My favorite things.
All right. We're going to come back to that.
Okay.
So, this or that, I'm going to give you two things to choose from. You tell me which one.
Okay.
Socks or barefoot?
Barefoot.
Eh, introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Things black and white or things gray?
Gray.
Hmm. Voicemail or text?
Text.
Okay. So those are good ones. I want to come back to a couple of these. How many holiday sweaters do you own? Why is that your favorite thing?
I don't know how many I own at this point. It's probably in the neighborhood of 30-ish
Mm.
across all holidays. And why it's my favorite thing. So it kind of started as a bit of a joke. And I always used to think they were just so silly and over the top. And then I started wearing them and it makes people laugh.
There you go, making your mark in the world.
There it is.
You said introvert. So you were an introvert.
Yes.
What piece of advice would you give to other introverts to become more comfortable with this new life of video calls and meetings?
Everything is temporary and just take your time where you need your time.
You mentioned the holiday sweaters. What personal compliment do you receive most often, withstanding comments on your holiday sweaters?
Uh, Personal comment on my eyes.
On your eyes, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
I got my grandmother's blue eyes.
They're beautiful.
Thank you.
In, in we'll go back. What professional compliment do you receive most often?
Ooh, that I'm on top of it.
Mm.
And I really, it's usually the people comment on how many things I am able to juggle at once.
Do you enjoy juggling many things at once?
I do. I do. I used to work for a guy who would say, um, you're carrying too many oranges without a basket. Like you
Hmm.
have a bushel of oranges without a basket. And that's something that has really stuck with me. And so every now and again, I will even get to a point where it's like, I have too many oranges without a basket. So now I need a basket to put some of these oranges in. And that's a system or a process or something that needs to make those oranges easier to carry that allows me to keep carrying other oranges without a basket.
Smart. What kind of system or process? Like, give an example.
So maybe it's even like a document that just is used to track something. Maybe it's that something actually needs to go into a reporting structure and it needs to exist in another system. Even just organizational systems in email, like figuring out
Hmm.
how to segment emails. sometimes those simple things can help make juggling a lot of other things easier for me.
That's a perfect segue into my next question because franchising is all about systems and processes. In less than 15 seconds, if possible, can you tell us why franchising is important?
Franchising is important because I think it gives people access to entrepreneurship in a way that they couldn't do on their own.
Good. What are some of the things you've done in the past year to help bring together the community in franchising, the franchise family?
I mean, Whiskey Wednesdays has
Mhm.
weirdly brought together a lot of people, I think, in the franchise community and outside of it. So thank you to the 919 team for getting that going and allowing so many of us to be a part of it. Um, and then we've also been doing virtual events within RevLocal that, have no ulterior motive, but to get people together and host a place for conversations. And those have been, kind of really lovely salons of conversation.
Salons of conversation. That's a good phrase. How do you think we can continue? I guess we could continue with those types of events, but that heightened sense of connection past, when we start kind of getting back to normal.
Yeah. So I think when we get back to normal, one of the tendencies will be to find your friends and to find the people you've missed. And you should absolutely find those people, but you should also look for the new faces
Mm,
and find the people you don't know. And I think one of the greatest things about the franchise community, and I've experienced this myself being relatively new to the space in the last few years, it's so welcoming. I
mhm.
hope that we don't lose that welcoming spirit and even ramp that up as we go back to normal, find the new people and bring them into our circles.
That's great. I love that. What is a piece of advice? So you're relatively new to the franchise space, but what is a piece of advice that you would give to someone else who's entering into this community for the first time?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Hmm.
I think that people have a lot of opinions about franchising from the outside, and whether those opinions are justified or not, I think you've got to give this business model and the people in it a chance.
Also good. Um, okay, so let's end on a fun one. What is your wildest travel story?
Wildest travel story, I was in Australia, in college, and was out with some friends, not even misbehaving, I promise. But they drive on the opposite side of the road in Australia, and I hadn't quite gotten the hang of that, and I stepped out into traffic and got hit by a car. So I spent a few days in a hospital in Sydney, Australia, not being able to remember why I was there. So that was the wildest. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh. That I don't I've been to a lot of places, but now if I travel, I'm definitely going to be looking both ways before I step into the
Yes,
street.
for sure. Yes. And look both ways and end on the
There you go. There you
right.
go. All right, Emily, how can we find you and Rev Local?
You can find RevLocal at revlocal.com. You can find me on LinkedIn for sure. I am Emily George on LinkedIn. And you can email me at egeorge@revlocal.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Emily, for joining
Oh,
today.
thank you for having me. This is fun.